Hi, welcome to our Homestead series. We hope this will be of enjoyment and informative. We don't know everything, we don't do everything perfect, but what we do know works for us. In these economic times, people have been talking about a back to the land movement or getting back to a more simple way of life. The transformation from the comforts of city dwelling and our modern way can be a little different going back to the homestead. I won't say complicated, but there are some things some people should know. So I hope you enjoy this series. Thank you for watching.
Okay, I'm starting to plant my carrots today, and hopefully I'll get to some beets and some Swiss chard as well. I'm hoping to beat the rain. We got a little bit of rain last night, just enough to dampen the road, but the soil's still pretty dry. So what we're doing is I use a combination of different methods. I started this before I'd ever discovered the square foot gardening books and different books like that. But I generally, when I first started gardening, I didn't use a tiller, I weeded everything by hand, so I didn't need really wide rows. So I naturally just started putting my rows closer together in little patches. And later I learned that it was square foot gardening or French intensive method or whatever you'd like to call it. But anyway, what I do is I just make rows like here. For carrots I do about 2 to 3 inches apart. I've done 3 rows here so far. I either take a little trowel and just drag it along like this, make a little trench, or I'll use my hands, and then I just sprinkle the seeds in about 2 inches apart. I try not to get them too thick because I don't want to do a whole lot of thinning later on. The variety I'm starting with right now is a Scarlet Nantes Corliss, and these are nice because they're a shorter root and they're good in clay or rocky soil. And I prefer them because it's a real pain in the neck trying to pull up a long carrot in the soil that we have. Our soil is nice, but it does get kind of thick and packed down. So I haven't bought many carrots this year because I already have what I'd normally be using, so I'm just going to use these up in our raised beds. And maybe next year I'll try a longer taproot type. So I just take my carrot seeds and I just sprinkle them very slowly. I just roll them off the end of my thumb. Just a couple at a time. About every 2 inches or so. And I know it's kind of hard to see because the carrot seeds are very small. When you're dealing with something that's that small, it's really hard to space them. You can buy little seed dispensers that work, but I find this works just fine. I just take my time and go along. And it doesn't take too long. After you plant them, I just take my hand and I just gently spread a little bit of soil over top. You don't want too much. It's generally you plant seeds about 2 times the depth of how big the seed is. I definitely wouldn't go more than 3, or carrots probably wouldn't be able to pop up through that much soil. Just put a little bit, and they come up pretty quickly, usually within a week. Okay, we've finished planting our carrot bed. This raised bed is all in carrots. I put 3 different types in here. Royal Red Corchantney, a Denver Half-Long, and Scarlet Nantes Corliss. I am hoping to keep track and compare them and see which one does best in our climate and our soil.